Welcome to the Doug and Kamish Show, the review from Week 10. Kamish, we haven't been together in a while.
No, and as reported on Twitter, you got your contract signed finally, so you can get back to work. I'm glad that you got it, and you make more money than me.
Well, part of the issue was really just I really felt like you were trying to carry the show. And let's be honest with each other, we know that contractually that's just not happening.
It's not happening now, so let's
kind of move on from there.
move on.
But how have you been?
Douglas, I've been great. I've been busy with meetings and parades and people honoring me and me accepting my awards, and it's been great, and it's great to be the commish.
Well, fantastic. We're excited to have you back and have the regular format get back to it. We are going to try to work on doing some more of those conference calls and maybe having some of our fantasy players, but this week they weren't able to do that, line up. So we'll see what we can do for the coming weeks.
Definitely.
Anyway, let's get back to the review of Week 10. Some pretty big games and kind of got some separation here. But let's talk about Michael Vick.
What mercy.
It was unfair what he did to the Beans organization on Monday.
It was
in 5 seconds of the game.
We were building it up as drama. There's only two things that we have to worry about on Monday night: the Doughboy Bean matchup, and
then Steamer.
Who's getting the Steamer. And the drama quickly went away when Vic's first roll out to his left, 88-yard touchdown. There went the drama, and it quickly left us with just a Steamer to worry about.
Yeah, well, what do you think, Vic, going forward? What is your analysis of him? I mean, he's not consistently putting up 60 points, obviously.
No.
But are you saying 20 points a week is not out of the question?
20 points, is definitely not out of the question. I would say 30s and mid-30s not out of the question. He's running touchdowns to get you 6 points, and he's throwing big play touchdowns on a consistent basis.
But he's not going to play the Redskins every week.
No.
And if the Giants get a hold of him, if they do, again, if the Giants get a hold of him, and always that worry that your quarterback's running.
Yeah, and he's a little fragile. He's been hurt a couple times, and they gotta teach him how to slide and run out of bounds and things like that. But he's electric, and I tell you, if the Doughboy gets in, I don't know anybody that's gonna want to play that matchup.
No kidding. Well, anyway, obviously the Doughboy beat the Bean there. We went to the Sass and the Nappy matchup, and Sass was able to pull it out. But Nappy had some good players. Brandon Lloyd just continues to impress.
He is. He's an impressive comeback player of the year. Really, in the GFO for sure.
Yeah.
It's the story of the year for the Nap. He puts up good numbers, has bad matchups. Tomology is really a legit thing for him. But we don't talk like that.
No. New guy in Nips. New guy was able to pull off the win using Sanchez as well as McCoy. Obviously, McCoy had a big night because the Eagles did.
Right.
So new guy kind of progresses there, and Nips goes down, but he has Amendola. What is your viewpoint of Danny Amendola? Seems to be a red zone target for the from the Rams. And
he's a white, so I give him a shout out just because he represents.
So what would that mean about the players who aren't white for you?
I love them because they're better.
Okay. So he also has Miles Austin. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen with Miles Austin with Kitna for the rest of the year? Is he going to be inconsistent, or can you plan on him getting 10?
Oh man, that's a great question because he's right on that borderline. You don't know with Romo, you could guarantee something with him. With Kitna, it looks like Miles Austin is the second option to Des Bryant. Yeah. When you look at the targets and the numbers in the red zone targets for sure. But the good thing is they'll probably be behind a lot, so Miles Austin will get his.
Soldier at jockey. Soldier had Dwayne Bowe just explode, mainly because they were so far behind, and the Chiefs are throwing to catch up. But hey, whether you're behind or not, it doesn't matter. Jump points are jump points, and you'll take them. But Andre Johnson finally comes out of his slump.
Long time coming.
But the Pittsburgh defense getting -10. Who would have thought that? Especially after he made the trade for him.
Yeah, he gave up a top 20 receiver for the number one defense.
It's a turnaround of 22 points, really.
Yeah, and the number one defense just got beat down and ridiculed and made fun of. I don't see it happening on a consistent basis. Pittsburgh will be back. They'll bounce back.
Matt Schaub actually shows up for the jockey, but still, it seems a little too late for the jockey. That's 3 steamers in a row. I think that's a record.
I believe someone said I would hate to be his toothbrush.
Yes, I'm sure you would probably hate to be his toothbrush. And to be truthful with you, I would hate to be his toothbrush even without the steamers. I don't really know at one point in time I ever thought, I want to be someone's toothbrush.
Right, but, I mean, if that's not bad enough, try scraping out some steamer in between the teeth.
3 weeks worth of steamers.
Yeah, that's not good news for anybody within personal space.
Let's just hope he didn't have any corn. Anyway, we move on to trash in town and Toilet Town. Obviously, you rode the coattails of Matt Ryan and Roddy White. How nervous were you for the first 3 quarters? Because let's be honest with each other, there wasn't a lot going on there.
No, there wasn't a whole lot going on, and a couple offensive pass interferences and a blown coverage, and there you go. I've got 64 points rolling into Friday.
Yeah, no kidding. Got to make you feel good. Toilet Town had MJD and Jamal Charles that seemed to do pretty well there.
Yeah, MJD seems to be hitting his stride after scoring below 12 points 6 straight weeks or 6 out of 8 weeks or whatever it was. They seem to be getting him more open looks. I don't know if it's in the passing game or if they finally hit a stride in the running game, but he's finally scoring some halfway decent points.
Now, do you think there was a lot of rumors that DJ was going to be able to trade and move Antonio Gates, but it seems like his price for selling Antonio Gates was a lot more expensive than his price for selling MJD. Do you think there's a little backhanded there with his brother?
Yeah, see, here's the thing. We've had that called inbred trading, home cooked trading.
Home cooking.
And just downright crooked because DJ basically just gave him to his little brother.
Yeah.
And then he
wants just all sorts of stuff for Gates.
Yeah, 7 first rounders, 4 keepers, and a number 1 running back for an injured tight end.
Yeah. It just seemed a little excessive.
It was probably an office space type of thing where they were in the same room and they were like tickling and stuff like that, and then it came out a trade. There's no other way to explain it.
Yeah, it's too bad. Then we go to Paper, who was able to beat White Trash. Kyle Orton showing up again, does his thing, and not that it really necessarily hinged on this, but Mike Thomas's catch at the end of that game was unreal.
It was a nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
And the thing is I mean, like Show has just recently said, he's one of the GMs to come out and say that he's not real nervous about White Trash getting Calvin Johnson and MJD and all these other superstars for bags of chips that Jake's getting because it is just Jake.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if that's a fair assessment, but he did get Calvin Johnson and got all these stars last week, and, he's, in the 80s or something like that, so maybe it is fair.
Yeah. Deshaun Jackson obviously looks great. Calvin Johnson had a decent day. Obviously had a touchdown at the end of the game. Really worked. Unfortunately for the Lions, Sean Hill is their quarterback, and we can't win a road game to save our lives. Truly pathetic. Do you think
there's nothing new here? Nothing new.
In the year 2015, are the Lions going to have a winning record? 2015.
No. Man.
How long do you think we're going to have to wait?
It might not ever happen, Doug. I mean, if you would have asked me in 1999, hey, do you think that we could get this rebuilding project done by the year 2011? I would have said, well, yeah, heck yeah, that's, plenty of time.
I mean, it makes us, we really took for granted the years that we were actually going to the playoffs and winning.
Yeah, it was the BS. It was all BS.
Yeah.
And without him, we would be looking at 50, 60 years of complete ineptness.
Oh, man. Well, that's the Week 10 review. I'm depressed.
Yeah, we didn't end it on a very solid note.
No. So we'll have to pick it up when we get back with our commercials from Thomas Auto Collision, where all your deer-hitting car needs are met.
Yes.
We'll be right back.